The sky above Earth was unusually bright that morning. Commander Nico stood on the observation deck of the orbital station, eyes fixed on the stars. Something was coming, and it was enormous. The sensors had been picking up strange signals for weeks, but now the shapes of massive alien ships were visible. They moved like shadows across the void, enormous and silent, blocking the view of distant stars. The whole world felt the tension, even from space. On the ground, people stared at the sky in disbelief. Cities were buzzing with messages, alarms, and speculation. News channels showed endless loops of the approaching fleet. Scientists and military leaders tried to calm the public, but fear was spreading faster than any official report. Everyone wondered the same thing. Why were they coming? And what did they want? Nico's mind raced. Years of training had prepared him for many scenarios, but nothing like this. The fleet was larger than any human defense force could face. He knew Earth could be destroyed in hours if these aliens were hostile. Yet, a small voice inside him reminded him not to panic. Humanity had survived impossible odds before. Humans were clever, strong, and adaptable. That might be the only advantage they had now. A message appeared on the station's main screen. It was a simple text, but it shook Nico to the core. "We come in peace." The words repeated several times, each in perfect English. The aliens were speaking directly to humanity. Nico frowned. The message said peace, but something about it felt wrong. The words were calm, but the tone was unreadable. There was a weight. Behind them, a quiet power that humans could not fully understand. Nico called his team together. Mara, a brilliant scientist, and Leon, an experienced engineer, joined him on the observation deck. Both were experts in analyzing unknown signals. "They say they come in peace," Nico said, his voice steady but tense. "Do you believe it?" Mara shook her head. "Not yet. No one moves this many ships without reason. Peace is easy to claim, but hard to prove. Look at their formations. It is precise, organized, and intentional. They are watching us, learning about our defenses. They are testing us." Leon leaned against the railing, looking at the tiny blue planet below. "If they want war, they already have an advantage. But if they want something else, maybe we can use that to survive. Either way, we cannot wait. We need to prepare." Nico nodded. "Agreed. Prepare the fleets, alert the stations, and begin full readiness protocols. We need Earth united. The world may not like it, but survival is more important than pride." Across Earth, governments responded quickly. Military bases went on high alert. Civilian evacuation plans were updated and communication networks were strengthened. Humanity was not unprepared, but this was unlike anything anyone had faced. Every human instinct knew the stakes were higher than ever. In the skies above the Atlantic, human fighter ships took formation, small compared to the alien giants, yet disciplined and determined. Pilots like Rena and Tao trained relentlessly, practicing maneuvers that could give them any advantage against the unknown. They were nervous, but proud. They understood that courage was not the absence of fear, but action despite it. Meanwhile, Mara and Leon worked in the laboratories, analyzing alien transmissions. Every signal, every pulse of energy was a puzzle. They discovered patterns in the messages that suggested advanced intelligence, far beyond human technology. "They are trying to communicate more than just words," Mara said. "There is strategy behind their signals. They want to see how we react. They want to understand humanity. Nico watched the aliens approach with a mix of awe and concern. The fleet was not attacking, not yet, but the sheer scale was terrifying. It was like watching a storm gather over the horizon. The planet below was alive with activity. Humanity was on edge, but there was also something powerful emerging. People were coming together, thinking creatively, and preparing for the unknown. In his quarters, Nico wrote a message to Earth's leaders. "We do not yet know their intentions. We must remain cautious, united, and strong. Humanity has faced danger before, and we have survived. This is no different. If they come in peace, we will welcome it. If not, we will show the strength of our species. We will not bow, we will not flee, and we will not break." As night fell on Earth, the alien fleet glimmered against the stars. Their ships were massive, dark, and imposing, but silent. Humanity waited. People stared at the sky from rooftops, fields, and mountains. Families held hands, friends whispered prayers, and strangers shared stories of courage. Something had awakened in humans that day. Something that no alien technology could measure. Nico stood once more on the observation deck, looking at the approaching fleet. He felt fear, yes, but also determination. Humanity had survived worse odds. Humans were inventive, adaptable, and stubborn. They could find ways to fight when the world seemed lost. The message repeated in his mind, "We come in peace." Nico understood now that peace could be a weapon if misunderstood. Humans would respond with clarity, strength, and unity. If this was peace to the aliens, humanity would show them what it truly meant to face a species unwilling to surrender. And deep in space, the alien fleet continued its approach, unaware that they were about to discover the true resolve of Earth. The world was awake in a way it had never been before. From the mountains of Asia to the deserts of Africa, from the cities of Europe to the forests of the Americas, people were watching the skies. Every satellite, every radar, and every sensor was trained on the alien fleet moving steadily toward Earth. Commander Nico knew that the coming days would test humanity like never before. On Earth, governments held emergency meetings. Leaders who had argued for decades found themselves speaking together, seeking common plans. Nico communicated with them constantly, giving updates and advice. "This is not a time for division," he said. "We have one goal now, to protect humanity and the planet we call home." Mara worked tirelessly in the central laboratory. Alien signals streamed in continuously, and each carried small pieces of information. She discovered patterns in the energy waves, repeated pulses that seemed like communication. "They are testing us," she told Nico during a video conference. "They want to know our limits, our defenses, and perhaps our fears. If we make a mistake, they may take advantage of it." Leon was busy in the engineering bay. He oversaw the preparation of human spacecraft and defense systems. Every weapon, every shield, and every engine was examined, tested, and strengthened. Leon spoke to his team firmly. "We do not know what they will do, but we can be ready. Every improvement we make now could save lives later. Humanity is clever, and cleverness can win wars even against stronger enemies." In training stations around the world, pilots were preparing for battle. Rena and Tao led drills for new recruits, teaching them to think quickly and act decisively. "You must trust your instincts," Rena said. "We cannot match their technology." Exactly. But we can be unpredictable. We can surprise them. That is humanity's greatest weapon. Across the planet, ordinary people contributed as well. Scientists shared knowledge freely, engineers built machines for defense, and civilians provided support in communication, transportation, and medical care. Humanity was not waiting passively. Humans were acting together, learning from one another, and showing resourcefulness that no alien fleet could fully anticipate. Nico called a meeting with Mara and Leon aboard the orbital station. He wanted to understand every detail of the preparations. "We are making progress," Mara said, "but we cannot underestimate them. The signals suggest intelligence far beyond ours. They are advanced, and they are patient. They will wait for mistakes." Leon nodded. "That is why we must act carefully. Every ship, every weapon, every pilot must be ready. We cannot afford overconfidence. But we also cannot freeze in fear. Humans survive because we adapt and we act." Meanwhile, the alien fleet continued its slow approach. Its ships were enormous, glimmering faintly against the darkness of space. People on Earth noticed strange energy bursts around some of the ships, signals that moved like whispers across the void. No one understood their meaning completely, but the world felt the presence of a power far greater than any human force. On the ground, cities were not only preparing for potential attacks, but also working on communication. People debated what to say if direct contact became possible. Diplomats and scientists discussed peaceful gestures and gestures of strength. "We must show intelligence but also determination," said Mara during a briefing. "If they see hesitation, they may assume weakness. That is the moment we cannot give them." Nico trained with the fleet, running simulations of possible encounters. Every scenario was tested: peaceful contact, sudden attacks, and unexpected maneuvers. He watched young pilots like Tao handle simulated crises with courage, making split-second decisions. He felt a quiet pride. Humanity was frightened, but it was also alive, creative, and determined. At night, Nico looked at Earth from space. Lights flickered across continents as people went about their preparations. Families gathered, friends shared knowledge, and communities supported one another. He realized that this unity was something no alien technology could measure. Humans were not just soldiers and scientists. They were a species capable of hope, courage, and ingenuity. Mara discovered more in the alien signals. She noticed small errors or differences in repeated patterns. "They are leaving openings," she told Nico. "Perhaps to test our observation, perhaps to see if we can think beyond the obvious. If we pay attention, we may gain advantages they do not expect." Leon smiled, adjusting the engine output on a human fighter ship. "That is humanity," he said. "We notice the small details. We act on what others ignore. That is why, even against superior strength, we have a chance. They may be stronger, but they do not have our persistence, creativity, or courage." The world waited. Humans knew the aliens were powerful, and they knew that mistakes could be fatal. But they also knew something else, that together they were stronger than any single weapon or technology. Unity, courage, and intelligence were weapons of their own, and humanity had them in abundance. Nico sent a message to Earth. "Prepare, but do not fear. Observe, but do not hesitate. Humanity has faced darkness before and has emerged stronger every time. We will act wisely. We will act together, and we will show that we are not easily defeated. The fleet approaching our planet may test our resolve, but it will also discover the true strength of humanity. As the night deepened, the alien fleet glimmered far above, a quiet presence that made hearts beat faster. Humanity had prepared as much as it could, yet the final choice, the first contact, and the coming challenge remained unknown. In that moment, people everywhere realized that survival would not come from weapons alone. It would come from courage, intelligence, and unity. And humans were ready to show the universe that Earth was not a planet to underestimate. The day of first contact arrived quietly, almost peacefully. From the orbiting stations, Commander Nico watched the alien fleet slow as it approached the outer edges of Earth's atmosphere. The ships were immense, far larger than any human construction. Their surfaces shimmered with light that seemed alive, moving across panels like liquid energy. A single alien vessel descended slowly toward a prepared landing area in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It hovered without sound, its presence massive, yet strangely calm. From within the ship, a door opened, revealing beings unlike anything humans had ever seen. Their shapes were humanoid but taller, their movements precise and controlled. Their faces were hard to read, their eyes reflecting intelligence and experience. Nico and a team of diplomats, scientists, and soldiers, including Mara and Leon, approached the landing site in specially reinforced suits. Rena and Tao were in the support fleet nearby, ready for any sudden move. Every human step was cautious, every glance measured. They knew this could be peaceful contact, or it could be the start of war. The alien stepped forward. Its voice resonated. In human ears, clearly, perfectly translating through a device that appeared to read thought. "We come in peace," it said. The words were calm, even gentle. Yet something in the timing, the way the alien paused before each phrase, suggested a hidden depth. Humans sensed that intelligence, power, and patience were behind every gesture. Mara observed carefully. "They are not simple," she whispered to Nico. "Their message is clear, but their body language, their energy, they are testing us. They are watching how we react to each word, each movement." Nico nodded slowly. "Then we must respond with clarity, respect, and strength. We cannot give fear, hesitation, or aggression. We must show humanity as it truly is: clever, capable, and unified." The human team stepped forward in a controlled, confident manner. Nico raised his hand slightly, a gesture of cautious greeting. The alien mirrored the motion. It was a subtle test of coordination, a measure of intelligence and reaction. Every human on the ground felt the weight of the moment. History was being made, but the tension was almost unbearable. The alien spoke again. "We seek understanding. We observe your species and your world. Your strength is noted, your unity is surprising. We offer dialogue and we offer choice." Mara analyzed the signal behind the words. There were hidden pulses, small vibrations in the energy transmitted from the alien. "They are probing," she said. "They are measuring how we think, how we communicate, even how we feel. Every reaction is part of their study." Leon adjusted communications equipment. "Then we must be careful. Every action, every response counts. Humans are capable of intelligence, but we must be precise and calm." Nico spoke to the alien in response, choosing words carefully. "We welcome dialogue. We are ready to share knowledge and learn from each other. But we also value our home, our people, and our freedom. Peace cannot be one-sided. Respect must be mutual. The alien paused, tilting its head slightly. Its eyes, dark and deep, seemed to study Nico as if searching for something beyond words. Then it nodded. Your caution is noted. Your courage is noted. You understand the balance of strength and restraint. This is rare among species we observe. Even as the words offered reassurance, Nico could feel a subtle tension. The alien fleet in orbit had not moved. The ships were still, their presence immense. Every signal from them was precise, controlled, and unreadable. Humans could not guess the full meaning, but they could feel the weight. Every decision now mattered. Mara leaned closer to Nico. They are not lying, but they are not showing everything. There is more beneath the surface. We must remain alert. Observation, intelligence, and patience are our tools. Nico nodded. Then we will use them. Humanity will show its strength not by weapons alone, but by intelligence, unity, and courage. We must be ready for anything. The alien extended a small device toward the humans. It glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with the energy of the ship. Mara and Leon examined it immediately. It appeared harmless, yet sophisticated beyond human understanding. They are offering a token of trust, Mara said. But it is also a test. How we handle it may affect their perception of us. Nico carefully accepted the device, observing every reaction of the alien. We will handle it with respect, he said. We will show that humans value intelligence and careful thought. The alien inclined its head, then stepped back. Its message was clear. The next phase of contact depended on humanity's response. Every decision, every movement would influence the path ahead. Nico felt the gravity of responsibility. As the alien ship slowly lifted and returned to its fleet, Mara whispered, "This is just the beginning." They are watching, learning, and testing. First contact is not a single moment. It is a process, and every step counts. Nico looked at Earth from the landing site, at the distant lights of cities and the people who were unaware of the depth of the encounter. Then we will show them, he said quietly. We will show what it means to be human. We are not weak. We are not passive. And if this is peace to them, we will make them understand that humanity is strong, united, and fearless. The alien fleet remained in orbit, calm, yet immense. Humanity had faced the first challenge with courage and intelligence. The world below continued its preparations, unaware that a subtle test had begun. Every human was now part of something greater, a story of survival, strength, and the unmistakable will of a species unwilling to surrender. Nico returned to the station, looking at the stars. He felt a mixture of awe and resolve. Humanity had survived the first encounter, but the real test was still ahead. The aliens were patient, intelligent, and powerful. Humans had strength, creativity, and courage. And for the first time, Nico knew that every human heart, every mind, and every action would soon be tested like never before. The stage was set. First contact had begun. For days after the first contact, Earth remained alert but hopeful. People spoke of the alien visitors with cautious curiosity. Scientists, diplomats, and engineers continued to study the signals and technology left behind. Nico and his team worked around the clock, trying to understand every detail of the alien fleet's movements. Then, without warning, the peace began to shatter. A colony on the edge of the solar system sent a sudden distress signal. The transmission was chaotic, filled with reports of explosions, fires, and loss of communication. Mara immediately began analyzing the signals. "This is not an accident," she said, her voice tight with urgency. The attack was precise. Someone knew exactly where to strike. Nico felt a cold weight in his chest. He had hoped the first contact was truly peaceful. Now it was clear that humanity had been tested, and the test had failed in some way. "Prepare the fleets," he ordered. "We do not know who did this, but we must respond quickly. No more waiting." Leon worked frantically in the engineering bay. Human ships were being modified and upgraded, ready for immediate deployment. Every weapon system, every shield, every engine was tested to the limits. "We cannot afford mistakes," he said. "They are testing our reaction. If we hesitate or falter, it could cost us everything." On the planet below, news of the colony's destruction spread quickly. Fear and anger rippled through humanity. People called for retaliation, for action, for defense. Yet even in the chaos, a new sense of determination emerged. Humans realized that survival required unity, not panic. Nico gathered his team aboard the orbital station. Rena, Tao, Mara, and Leon joined him, all tense but focused. "They want to see how we respond," Nico said. "They want to measure our courage, our strategy, and our will to survive. This is not just an attack, it is a message, and we must answer it clearly." The alien fleet above remained still, their ships hovering with silent menace. Humans could not guess their thoughts, but the precision of the attack suggested intelligence and careful planning. Every human instinct screamed that this was a turning point. Mara examined data from the destroyed colony. The weapons used were unlike anything we have seen. Advanced targeting, energy control, and timing beyond human capabilities. But there are patterns. They are consistent with the signals we received earlier. Whoever attacked is using intelligence. Not chaos. They want to prove a point. Leon nodded. Then we respond with intelligence. We cannot match them ship for ship, but we can be clever. We can act unpredictably. That is what humans do best. Nico turned to Rena and Tao. "You and your teams will lead the first counterstrike. We must show that humanity does not yield to fear. Every move will count, and every human action will be part of the message we send." The fleet launched, leaving Earth's orbit in a coordinated formation. Humans felt the weight of responsibility in every maneuver. Pilots remembered training, simulations, and every lesson learned from the signals and technology of the aliens. They were ready to show that courage and intelligence were as strong as any weapon. From the command station, Nico watched the battle unfold. Human ships dodged energy blasts, performed unexpected maneuvers, and struck with precision. Despite the alien advantage, humans used their adaptability to survive and even turn the tide in small skirmishes. Every success boosted morale, and every maneuver demonstrated the resourcefulness of humanity. Mara and Leon monitored the battlefield from Earth. They coordinated repairs, data analysis, and strategy, giving pilots information that helped them anticipate alien tactics. "They underestimated our ability to adapt," Mara said. "They may be powerful, but they do not understand the creativity of humans under pressure." Nico issued a broadcast to the fleet, his voice calm but firm. "If you think this is peace, prepare to regret it. Humanity will not bow, flee, or break. We fight for our home, for our people, and for every life on this planet. Remember why we survive: intelligence, courage, and unity. Let the universe see what it means to face humans without respect. The message spread across the battlefield and through Earth's communication networks. Citizens listened, pilots acted, and every human felt the weight of responsibility. They were no longer passive observers. Every individual, from the smallest technician to the most experienced soldier, played a role in showing the aliens the strength of humanity. The battle reached its climax when a human squadron, using unpredictable strategies and coordinated attacks, disrupted one of the alien ship's energy cores. The alien vessel faltered, sending waves of energy across the fleet. It was a small victory, but it proved that humans could resist even a technologically superior enemy. Nico watched the success quietly, knowing the fight was far from over. Humanity had survived the first betrayal, but the aliens' message was clear. The universe would now test the resolve of Earth. Humans had strength, intelligence, and courage, but every step forward would require more. Mara studied the alien signals once more. "They will return," she said, "and they will be watching closely. We must learn from every moment, every battle, every success. Humanity's response must be deliberate, strong, and unwavering." Leon adjusted the fleet's positioning. "We have shown them one thing: we do not break. They may be powerful, but humans are clever, adaptable, and united. That is a strength no technology can replace." Nico looked at the stars above, at the alien fleet hovering like a dark promise. If this is peace to them, they will soon regret underestimating humanity. We have survived betrayal, and we will survive whatever comes next. Humanity will not falter. Humanity will not fail, and we will show the universe the courage of our species. The attack had revealed the truth. Peace was not guaranteed, and the aliens were far more dangerous than anyone had expected. Yet humanity had responded with strength, intelligence, and unity. The first battle had been won not just with weapons, but with the courage and will of every human who refused to surrender. Earth had sent its first real message to the universe: humanity would not be broken. The aftermath of the first attack left Earth shaken, but determined. The destruction of the outer colony had been a harsh reminder of the aliens' power, yet humanity refused to surrender. Across the planet, nations that had once competed fiercely now shared knowledge, resources, and strategies. Humanity had learned a vital lesson: survival demanded unity. Commander Nico convened a global council in the orbital station. Leaders, scientists, and military experts joined via secure communication channels. Mara and Leon provided detailed reports of alien technology, signals, and weaknesses. "We have seen their precision," Mara said, "but we have also seen patterns, small openings in their systems. They test us, but they are not perfect. Humanity can find ways to survive and even strike back." Leon nodded. "We must use what we have learned. We cannot match them ship for ship, but we can outthink them. That is our advantage. Creativity, unpredictability, and coordination will turn the odds in our favor." Nico addressed the council, his voice steady and confident. "The aliens believe they are superior. They have power, but they do not understand our species. Humans are intelligent, adaptable, and relentless. If we act together, we can show them that Earth will not fall quietly. Every person, every ship, every effort counts. On the surface, cities and communities responded with energy and determination. Engineers worked day and night to improve weapons and shields. Scientists analyzed alien signals and designs, finding ways to adapt the technology to human systems. Civilians assisted in communication, transportation, and support roles. Humanity was proving its resilience in every possible way. In the skies above Earth, human fleets trained tirelessly. Pilots like Rena and Tao pushed themselves to perfection, running maneuvers that would be unpredictable to the aliens. New recruits learned the value of teamwork, quick thinking, and courage under pressure. Each flight, each drill, each simulated. Battle built confidence and skill. Mara discovered a pattern in the alien signals that could be critical. They rely on precision, she explained to Nico and Leon. They respond quickly to predictable actions. If we act unpredictably, if we combine intelligence with creativity, we can create opportunities they will not expect. Leon smiled. That is humanity. We think outside the lines. We take risks, but we take calculated risks. The universe has never seen a species like ours. That is what will protect us. Nico studied the orbital maps of the alien fleet. Their ships formed enormous formations, but there were gaps and weak points. We will not attack blindly, he said. We will strike where it counts, with coordination and intelligence. We show them that humans are more than just resistance. We are strategy, courage, and unity. Plans were made for a daring counterattack. The human fleet would move in coordinated waves, striking multiple targets simultaneously. Mara and Leon provided real-time analysis, guiding pilots with precise information. Rena and Tao led the first squadrons, confident and focused. Every pilot understood the importance of their actions. As the fleet launched, Earth watched with anticipation. Citizens gathered in cities, fields, and rooftops. Families held hands, friends whispered encouragement, and communities cheered quietly. Humanity's courage was not just in the ships and weapons, but in the hearts of every person who contributed, directly or indirectly, to the defense of their planet. The battle began with careful strikes. Human ships moved unpredictably, avoiding direct confrontation when possible and targeting critical systems in the alien fleet. Energy pulses, shields, and engines were tested. Every move required intelligence, precision, and bravery. Nico observed from the command station, calm but alert. Remember, he said to his team, our strength is in strategy and courage. Use your creativity. Trust one another. Every action is part of the message we send to the aliens. Humanity is not to be underestimated. The aliens responded quickly, adjusting formations and targeting human ships with precision. Yet human unpredictability made their attacks less effective than expected. Mara guided pilots to exploit openings, and Leon coordinated repairs and support. Small victories began to accumulate, demonstrating that intelligence and adaptation could rival raw power. Rena led a daring maneuver that caught an alien ship off guard. With careful timing and coordinated strikes, the ship's energy systems were disrupted, causing temporary confusion in the enemy formation. Tao followed with a flanking strategy, striking another target and showing that human teamwork could overcome even the most disciplined opponents. Back on Earth, people watched the battle unfold on screens, their hearts rising with each small victory. Humanity had proven that strength was not only in weapons, but in intelligence, unity, and courage. Every citizen felt the power of their species reflected in the pilots and crews fighting above. Nico addressed the fleet once more. This is not the end, but it is proof. Proof that humans can survive, adapt, and challenge any force. We have shown determination, creativity, and bravery. Let this be the message to the universe. Earth will not bow, and humanity will not be broken. The alien fleet hesitated. Their precise formations faltered, and signals indicated confusion. Humans had shown resilience, strategy, and courage. Humanity's counterattack, though not final, had turned the tide in small but important ways. Mara and Leon watched the aftermath carefully. "They will learn," Mara said. "They will understand that humans are not predictable and that intelligence, creativity, and unity are powerful weapons. They may strike again, but we are ready." Leon nodded. "Every human effort matters. Every person, every pilot, every scientist contributes to the strength of the species. That is what the aliens cannot predict. That is why humanity survives." Nico looked at Earth from orbit, at the lights and the people below. He felt pride and determination. Humanity had faced betrayal, danger, and fear, and had responded with courage and intelligence. The path ahead would be harder, but the spirit of the species was stronger than any threat. The first phase of counterattack was complete, and humanity had sent a clear message. Earth was united, clever, and unyielding. The universe was watching, and humanity's voice was heard in every maneuver, every strategy, and every courageous heart. The battle above Earth had shifted. Human fleets had learned from their first encounters, and the aliens were beginning to understand that they faced more than fear. They faced intelligence, creativity, and determination. Commander Nico watched the orbiting formation, feeling a mixture of tension and cautious hope. Every ship, every pilot, and every maneuver mattered more than ever. Mara worked alongside Leon in the orbital command center, monitoring alien energy, patterns, and systems. "They are powerful," she said. "But every action we take reveals weaknesses. Their coordination is strong but predictable. We can use that." Leon adjusted control panels, ensuring human ships were operating at peak efficiency. "We have learned their methods," he said. "We know their patterns, and we can act faster and smarter. That is our advantage. Strength alone does not win. Wars, strategy does." On the planet below, civilians continued to support the effort. Engineers sent supplies to fleets, technicians maintained communication networks, and scientists processed data at incredible speed. Humanity's response was no longer limited to the military. Every individual contributed, proving that the species itself was a weapon of intelligence and unity. In orbit, Rena and Tao led squadrons in daring maneuvers. They moved with precision, striking alien ships at unexpected angles and forcing the enemy to adapt. Their tactics were unpredictable, and their coordination with other squadrons made them difficult to counter. Every success, no matter how small, built confidence across the fleet. Nico observed a critical moment in the battle. One alien flagship began shifting formation, likely preparing a concentrated strike. Mara quickly analyzed its energy signals. "Its shields have a pattern," she said. "There is a brief moment when its defenses reset. That is our opportunity." Leon smiled, adjusting targeting systems. "We take advantage of it. Timing is everything." This is humanity's chance to turn the tide. Nico transmitted the order. All squadrons, synchronize attacks. Exploit the openings. Show the aliens that humans act with intelligence, courage, and unity. The human fleet moved. As one, a coordinated strike that struck multiple points at the same time. Alien ships faltered under the unexpected pressure. Systems overloaded, shields glitched, and communications between ships became chaotic. For the first time, humanity was not only defending, they were forcing the enemy to react. Rena executed a precise maneuver, guiding her squadron to strike a critical point in the alien formation. Tau followed with flanking moves, hitting the enemy from angles they had not predicted. Mara guided them with calm efficiency, reading signals and predicting outcomes. Leon adjusted human engines and weapons to maximize impact. Below Earth, people watched in awe. Screens showed the battle unfolding in real time. Citizens cheered as small victories were achieved. Humanity had demonstrated that strength alone was not the measure of survival. Intelligence, unity, and courage were equally powerful, and they were now visible to every corner of the planet. Nico addressed the fleet over communication channels. This is what it means to be human. We adapt, we learn, and we act together. Our courage, intelligence, and unity define us. Let every alien ship understand, Earth will not fall, and humanity will not be broken. The aliens responded with force, but their attacks were less effective than before. They had underestimated the adaptability of humans. Every calculated strike by humanity forced the alien fleet to divert resources, leaving openings for further maneuvers. Humans began to exploit those gaps with skill and precision. Mara noted a pattern in the alien systems. They rely on repetition, she explained. When humans act unpredictably, they hesitate. That hesitation is weakness. If we continue, we can create opportunities that lead to greater victories. Leon worked quickly to enhance human ship speed and coordination. Every advantage counts, he said. We have intelligence, creativity, and teamwork. We have courage. That is more powerful than any weapon. As the battle progressed, humans managed to disable one of the alien command ships. Its energy core faltered, and its communication signals were disrupted. The aliens in orbit had to adjust, showing for the first time that they were vulnerable. Humanity's perseverance, planning, and coordination had begun to turn the tide. Nico allowed himself a brief moment of pride. Humanity had endured betrayal, danger, and fear, yet the species had responded with brilliance and courage. Every individual, from pilots to civilians, had played a part in this success. The aliens had underestimated humans, and now they were paying the price. Mara looked at the energy patterns of the remaining alien fleet. They will regroup, she said. But they have seen our capability. They know that humans are intelligent, courageous, and united. That knowledge may slow them down, may even give us an advantage in the next phase. Leon nodded. Humanity fights, not because we have to, but because we choose to. That is what makes us dangerous. That is what no alien force can fully control. Nico gazed at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility and the pride of achievement. Humanity had survived the initial attacks and had begun to demonstrate its true strength. They had proven that survival depended not just on power, but on intelligence, creativity, courage, and unity. The alien fleet hovered above, silent but aware of humanity's growing strength. They had faced resistance, unpredictability, and strategy. Humans had sent a clear message. Earth would not yield, and humanity would not be underestimated. Nico turned to his team. "We have done well," he said, "but the fight is not over. We must remain vigilant, united, and strong. The universe will continue to test us, but we will show that humanity endures, adapts, and prevails." The battle had not ended, but the tides had shifted. Humans were no longer merely defending, they were asserting themselves. And with intelligence, courage, and unity, they were ready for whatever came next. The alien fleet had paused above Earth, a silent and imposing force. The earlier battles had shown humans were clever, adaptable, and courageous. Commander Nico observed from the orbital station, knowing that the next hours would decide not only the fate of Earth, but the message humanity would send to the universe. Mara and Leon worked side by side, monitoring every alien signal. "They are analyzing us," Mara said. "Every move we made, every strategy we used, they are learning. This is not just a battle. It is an observation. They want to know if we are worth their attention." Leon adjusted communications and energy systems on the fleet. "Then we make sure they understand clearly," he said. "Humans do not surrender. Humans do not break. We are clever, united, and fearless. That is our message." On Earth, people watched the skies. After days of tension, hope began to rise alongside fear. Families, friends, and communities held one another, feeling the courage that had carried humanity through the battles. Every citizen understood that the outcome depended not just on pilots and soldiers, but on the unity of the species as a whole. Nico gathered the fleet for the final maneuver. Pilots like Rena and Tao prepared their ships with precision. "This is the moment," Nico said. "We will act not just with strength, but with intelligence, creativity, and courage. Every move will send a message. Earth is united, humans are resilient, and we will not be underestimated." The human fleet moved in coordinated waves. Every squadron had a target, every ship a role. Mara guided the pilots using patterns she had observed in the alien systems. Leon ensured every ship operated at full capacity. The timing of the attack had to be perfect. Humans had learned that adaptability was their greatest strength. As the fleets approached, the alien ships reacted with precision and force. Energy pulses flared, shields glimmered, and weapons discharged in careful, coordinated strikes. But humanity's strategy was unpredictable, making every move difficult for the aliens to counter. Rena led a daring maneuver directly into the center of the alien formation. Her squadron struck with speed and intelligence, targeting critical nodes in the alien network. Tao followed with a flanking maneuver, hitting weak points and forcing the alien ships to adjust. Every action disrupted the enemy's coordination, creating openings for further human strikes. Mara analyzed the energy pulses from the alien fleet. "Their command ships are faltering," she said. "We have created chaos in their systems. This is our chance to demonstrate the strength of human intelligence and unity." Leon coordinated repairs and energy redirection across the fleet. "Every ship counts," he said. "Every maneuver demonstrates courage. Humans do not follow scripts. They create solutions. That is what gives us advantage, even against stronger forces." Nico observed quietly, letting the fleet act. The human strategy was working. Alien ships struggled to regain control, their precision disrupted by unexpected human tactics. Humanity's unpredictability, coordination, and courage were proving to be more than just defenses. They were weapons in their own right. Finally, the flagship of the alien fleet faltered. Its energy core destabilized, forcing the aliens to retreat temporarily. Humanity had not destroyed the fleet, but they had proven something far more important. They could resist, adapt, and challenge a superior force. Nico sent a final broadcast, his voice calm and clear across communication channels. If you think this is peace, prepare to understand humanity. We are clever, united, and fearless. We do not yield. We do not break, and we do not surrender. Earth is our home, and we will protect it with every mind, every heart, and every effort. This is the message of our species. We endure, we adapt, and we triumph. Across Earth, people listened in awe. Every citizen, every community felt the weight and pride of those words. Humanity had faced impossible odds, betrayal, and danger, yet had responded with intelligence, courage, and unity. The message was not only to the aliens, it was a declaration to the universe. The alien fleet remained in orbit, observing. They had tested humanity and found a species that did not fear, did not panic, and did not break. They had underestimated the resourcefulness, creativity, and unity of humans. For the first time, they faced a species that could not be controlled by power alone. Mara looked at Nico. They will remember this, she said. They will know that humans are intelligent, courageous, and united. They may come again, but they now understand the strength of this species. Leon added, and every human contributed. Every effort, every decision, every act of courage mattered. That is what makes us unstoppable. That is what the universe sees now. Nico turned to the observation deck, looking down at the blue planet below. Cities glimmered, lights flickered, and people moved with quiet purpose. Humanity had survived the first tests and sent its message. Earth was not a planet to underestimate, and humans were not a species to challenge lightly. The alien fleet, after a final observation, began to withdraw. They had not been defeated completely, but they had been shown the resilience, intelligence, and unity of humans. Humanity had sent its final message. Strength alone was not enough to control Earth. Nico breathed deeply, feeling both relief and pride. The battles had been fierce, the danger immense, yet humanity had proven something remarkable. They had shown courage, intelligence, and unity, facing the universe without fear. On Earth, celebrations were quiet but heartfelt. Families, friends, and communities understood the significance. Humanity had survived a test from beyond the stars, and in doing so had proven the true strength of their species. The sky above remained clear, the stars shining brilliantly. Humanity had sent its message, and the universe had seen it. Earth's final message was simple and unyielding. Humans endure, adapt, and triumph. Commander Nico stood on the observation deck one last time, looking at the stars. "We are human," he said softly. "We fight, we endure, and we survive. The universe will remember Earth and its people, and if anyone dares to challenge us, they will understand what it truly means to face humanity." The message had been sent. Humanity had survived, And the story of Earth and its people would echo across the stars for generations to come.